I'm Greg Jamian, and thank you for watching Boomer Health at Home, the show where we explore the most relevant healthcare topics impacting the baby boomer generation today. As more and more baby boomers seek answers to many times difficult healthcare questions, our goal is to provide ideas, tips, and cutting-edge solutions that will help improve your everyday life and health. It is our hope that you find the following information helpful as you sit back and watch Boomer Health at Home.
Hello, I'm Ryan Donovan alongside Brett Pulte, and you're watching Boomer Health at Home, the show where we aim to bring useful information to help you and your loved ones live happy, healthy lives. Brett, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really well.
Great. What kind of show do we have today?
Well, today we actually are going to be having Jennifer Hicks in. She is a registered nurse, and she's actually gonna give us a little quiz, so we get to reignite our rivalry.
I've heard about this. Yes, we both have our own health goals, and this will tie into it nicely. So.
Yeah, everyone's working on their summer body right now, or you're working on some anti-hibernation weight.
Yeah.
But Jennifer's going to have great information for us. She always does.
I always say it's my winter weight. I mean, winter from 1998, but it's still winter weight, right? Well, great. Well, I look forward to. Hey, we got to even the score too. I'm down 1 on our overall point score. So to hear more from Jennifer and more on this topic, stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to our episode of Boomer Health. Of course, I got Brett Pulte alongside Ryan Donovan here. And as we mentioned before the break, today's episode is about that pesky thing, weight loss. And you know, there's that old saying that the camera adds 10 pounds. But one thing I noticed with me doing the show is that it's like, it seems to only be adding it to me. Everyone else looks about the same size. So
and then it adds 10 pounds on top of the 10 pounds you added yourself.
So Brett and I talk, we actually do talk off stage too. It's not just on the show. I mean, very briefly, but we decided, hey, let's kind of focus on getting ourselves back in shape. I think for healthy, we do a health show. We should probably live by some of our health standards. But I'm telling you, it's not as easy as it used to be.
Not at all.
We were just talking about how the basic working out can cause pain for days when I used to be able to just like pop or something out for a week or something and all of a sudden lose 15 pounds. It doesn't happen anymore. So, of course, as we've proven many times, we don't know what we're talking about. So what we do is we bring on experts. So joining us today to kind of answer some questions about the body, your metabolism, and the aging process is Jennifer Hicks. And Jennifer, tell us a little bit about your background.
I am a registered nurse, and I work with AmeriStaff AmeriCare. And I've also studied integrative medicine or nutrition, staying in shape, working out, balancing both of them. So I work with both integrative medicine and what we call traditional Western medicine.
Yeah, well, that's great. Well, we are very happy to have you on the show. Thank you for joining us. So, two guys like us, we're, as you heard, we're trying to turn life back around because it's easy to fall in bad habits, work, stress, all this stuff. There's many excuses, but when someone does want to just turn around, kind of start cold turkey, let's get healthy. What do you recommend for someone like that?
Well, okay, let's go into that, but first let's see what you know. Okay. How about if we have a test?
Wait a minute.
To find out.
A test. Brett and I love this. As you probably don't know, so we have a running competition going on this show, and much to
Ryan.
Yes, to everyone's surprise at home, I'm losing, and I can't sleep at night. I think this is part of the weight gain. So, if you have a test, I challenge you to another throwdown, weight loss showdown. You down?
I'm good.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. All right. So, question number 1: is thinner better as you get older?
Is thinner better as you get older? I would say yes. Right?
I would think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, false.
Really?
So, you want to be healthy, not frail? Well, you do. You want to be healthy. So, and it isn't so much about being heavy as it is it muscle or is it fat? So we do actually want to continue to keep our muscle mass. And we do that by light weights or even yoga, sometimes Tai Chi, but there is some sort of a resistance. So actually, thin isn't always better. And I have to say, whether this is an expert or not, sometimes a little 5 pounds extra for padding is helpful on our knees and our hips as we get older.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'll tell my wife that I can stay up a little
she
higher
said
in the weight.
she said 5 pounds. We're looking
Yeah, about 5 to 7 pounds. Right. Yep.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't think of that, but I guess yeah. So you want to keep some tone to your body,
Tone to the body,
but
so muscle
healthier
mass,
if it's muscle as opposed to.
as opposed to fat.
Makes
yes.
sense.
That does make sense.
Right.
Okay,
With the metabolism.
So 0-0, but still
Okay.
time. The game,
Yes.
it's still anyone's game.
All right, so 0-0. So number 2, your metabolism starts to slow down in your A20s, B30s, C40s, D50s.
I'm gonna go with A20s.
Okay.
See, now I'm in my 30s and I feel like it's really hitting me now, so I'm going to go with 30s.
Okay, well, it's in the 20s. So Ryan did get one.
Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then.
Oh.
All right. So in the 20s, it says we burn about 150 calories per day. Our body starts to shift. So we have generally, this is a generalization, more muscle mass in our 20s, in our youth, than we do as we age. That's, though, if you are active as a young person. So it really does begin even sooner than that. So if you are an athlete in high school and you've been working out, or were on track or something, and then you continue to do that in your 20s, you're still going to be active and you'll still have the muscle mass. As we age, and we tend to start then having different responsibilities, we don't work out so much, so we actually need to pay more attention in our 30s that we're actually working out or exercising, lifting weights, how we're eating. Because even though we may be eating less calories, if we aren't doing the same activities we did in our 20s, we are then burning less. We're burning less calories. Muscle metabolism burns more than fat if you're more muscular.
Yeah.
So what? Just kind of a side question, based off of that. When you hear people, like a lot of online stuff to kind of assess your weight or your health, they'll ask, are you active, lightly active, or inactive? Is there a parameter where you can kind of tell, like how much movement or activity should we be getting as an adult?
Okay. I'm just thinking. So all right. We all have different personalities, but we definitely need, by that I mean there are some people who really love to be outside, they're very active, and so naturally they're used to a great deal of activity. And then there's some people who are moderately active, and then they're sedentary. So as adults, we definitely want to be moving regularly. I think what I've been reading is between 15 minutes and a half hour every day of exercise.
Okay.
And a while ago in the 80s, I want to say, we were told we had to do like an hour, you had to do an hour workout or it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
But what they're finding now is even just 15 minutes, a couple different times a day, you get up, you move out. I work at a desk a lot of times, so I'll actually make myself go walk for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's moving your arms, your wrists, just keeping your joints mobile.
Right.
And we also do need resistance, though. We do have to have some sort of a resistance. So if we're using the bands or our own weight, or 2-pound weights, there has to be resistance.
So you don't necessarily have to just stand up, do like CrossFit or something. You just movement would be enough to increase activity. So you can
Right.
Small baby steps. Okay, interesting.
Small baby steps, yes. Right, baby steps. are always helpful.
Babies, yeah.
Right?
Very good. Okay, so let's just remind everyone, I'm winning 1-0.
For now.
For now. Okay, so here is another question. Here's an opportunity for you, Brett.
Okay.
Okay, so gaining weight is a fact of aging. True or false?
I'm going to say false on that one.
Okay.
All right, well, I'm going for the win, so I'm going to say true on that one. But
It is false.
There we go.
okay.
Yes, but okay, so the way that we misunderstand that is, I think because as we age, we may still be eating the same amount of calories, but if we are not moving as much as we once did, and our metabolism does tend to slow down as we age, that's how we gain weight. So now it's 1-1, just for the record. Okay, it's 1-1. But there's many different ways that you can, as we age, how do we not gain weight? So we do increase cardiovascular. We do increase that. You can take digestive enzymes. I understand, and that could be for a different show on what things that we can take to help us with our metabolism. There are studies out there that does help us to metabolize our food and then also get the nutrition from the food more easily. So it isn't just about our caloric intake as we age, it's how much we're moving as well, and is our body mass muscle or fat? That also can play a part.
Right. That's interesting.
Yeah,
okay, so now we're 1 for 1.
Yes, we are.
Okay, eating too much is the #1 cause of weight gain as you get older. Eating too much.
I'll say
True or
false.
false?
I'm going to say false as well, based on what you just told us.
Okay, so you're both correct.
All right.
We can be taught.
So kind of about what we just said as we age, about the metabolism. Oftentimes, people may eat less and gain weight. And that has to do too with medications. So there are medications that can make us gain weight. And also sometimes with diabetes, how your body is handling the metabolism of the sugar or carbohydrate intake. But medications can play a part on gaining weight. And as some people, not everyone, tends to get older, they then are put on certain medications. So there's a lot of different variables. So you're both correct, so we're still tied.
Now, is that weight that when
that.
someone's on medication and they gain weight, you'll hear them say it's just water weight. Is that as dangerous as like a fat weight, or someone gains weight? Obviously, if you gain weight from muscle, that's healthy. If you gain weight by excess fat, what's happening with the weight gain when someone has medication?
That is a very in-depth question, and I don't know that I'm the exact expert of that. In fact, all I can tell you is what I've seen. So, so it would be more of the experiences that I've had, and this is just from that standpoint, not a scientific data. Okay, so what I tend to notice, if it is something that maybe has to do with antidepressant medication, sometimes people will gain weight. I find that is a more solid type of a weight gain, and I don't understand it. If it comes from a steroid, that tends to be more of a water weight gain.
Yeah, I've seen people on like prednisone get red-faced and kind of puffy.
They get puffy. And that is a different type of a weight, and they kind of feel a little bit more spongy than it does a more solid mass. And then from just enjoying what we're eating and gaining weight, that tends to be a little bit more squishy, and you know, it doesn't. It's a different feeling. I know what that feels like. But anyways, so they all have their difficulties in losing the weight, and so when it comes to like the antidepressants, I'm not exactly sure how I don't know how. You can lose weight. I know that, so I'm saying this because sometimes people then get down on themselves that they've gained weight, and sometimes it doesn't really have anything to do with how they're eating or what their activities are. But what I do know is once you start to exercise, there's different endorphins that are released with that, so that brings a more a lighter feeling happier feeling. So it just, again, there's pros and cons to everything.
Right.
And it's just something to consider. So things aren't black and white. None of it's black and white.
Yeah.
Right.
None of it's black and white.
Only my suit.
Oh, there you go. The suit, right.
I kind of
Right.
went Blues Brothers today. I had the hat and the glasses on. The wife said no. So just, that's good.
It looks good.
Well, I thank her.
Right. And then Brent's kind of in the middle, which is kind of
Yes.
how
A lot of
Life-
blues.
blues, right. Yes. Right.
Good. And so we got tie game right now. We're learning a lot. Thank you so much. This
Oh,
is
you're
fun.
welcome.
This is a lot
This
of
is fun. Okay, so for menopause, menopause makes women gain weight. True or false?
Not that I've noticed ever. Ever.
I'll go with the truthful answer, and I'm going to say true.
Okay, so this is interesting. Okay, I'm getting false. It's saying false, and again, this is saying, all right. So I'm reading because some of it's a bit confusing because I happen to be living it right now. So menopause is when a woman stops having menstrual periods. It happens around age 51. Around the same age, many people, women find and men find that they're gaining weight. And again, the biggest reason is because of changes in our metabolism.
Okay.
But it can also be due to hormones. So, and then I'm going to say this is a very weighted question because there's different specialists, even medical doctors who, may say that that's true, and then there's health enthusiasts or medical doctors who will say that's false, and then there's endocrinologists who may say that's true, and then so I'm going to have to give this one. I'm going to have to say that this is kind of a one of the throwaway.
True and
We're going to
false.
say a true. We're going to say
So I
it's a
went
throwaway.
false. You went
Jury's
true.
out.
But
Okay.
and there's going to be
We'll
we may
wash
get
it.
calls. So good. It would be good if we get calls that argue either way.
Exactly.
I can see Steve in the studio right now. They're already ringing off the hook. So.
Okay, so again, it has to do with the individual person, our metabolism, seeing endocrinologists or our primary care physician, and I'm just going to put this in there right now. I think this is a great opportunity. One of our most important relationships that we can have are with our primary care physician, and how we get along, and are they a match for us? Because each one of us, we're individual, there's different age groups, but our primary care physicians are just as different as the three of us, and some are going to be using vitamins, nutrition, others may be more suited towards someone who just has a different idea of how medicine should work.
Yeah, and it's easy. Actually, Brett made this point when we were kind of planning this whole show was, we would mention, like, why have we never done, like, we were asking our own health questions, why have we never asked the nurse?
Yeah.
And Brett made a point, it's like, there's so much available online, we think we can self-diagnose everything now,
Right.
like the WebMDs, and not that they're bad resources, but I think
Right.
people get a false sense of, your primary physician, RNs, nurses, people in the medical
Right.
field that put so much time and 8 to 12 to 15 years of studying. It's like, we can't diagnose. It's better to ask a doctor or nurse or something for this kind of stuff.
Right, well, and I'm going to say, okay, so, and your primary care physician and the people who get to know you, the nurses who get to know you, or your primary care physician, they get to know you. And then they're doing research, you're doing research. So the internet is a good, it is a good resource, but so that you can get ideas, and it does prompt us to then maybe go to people who are experts and talk to them about it. So it's true, though, I do go to my resources and ask them after I research something on the internet. But I've found that in the commercials, there's so many different commercials, infomercials.
Yeah.
We don't know what's right and wrong sometimes, and then sometimes we can bring it to our primary care physician, and then they can look into it, or we can study it together. But you're right; it's always a relationship.
Yeah.
It is a relationship, and we both have to take responsibility.
That's right.
All right.
That's
so,
why we try to have this show, to be
Yeah.
that we are the middleman, like the bread of the internet world is what we're trying to be.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so 6. So I think we're still tied.
We are tied.
Are we
Yeah,
still
that-
tied?
so.
We'll call
Okay.
a split on it. Yeah, that was
Okay.
I think we're still at 2-2.
yeah. That went to the
2-2.
judges on that one. so.
Okay, so number 6, how many calories per day should you get after the age of 50 if you're moderately active? So we're going to
Okay.
say working out maybe 3 times a week, watching what you eat, maybe going for a walk at lunchtime. So A is 1,600 calories for women and 2,000 for men.
Okay.
B, 1,800 for women, 2,200 for men. Or C, 2,000 for women and 2,800 for men. So I just want to say this. So moderately active means walking 1.5 to 3 miles a day at 3 to 4 hours per mile.
Okay.
Very active would be walking more than 3 miles a day at the same pace. So I was a little bit wrong on my moderate. So it is walking 1.5 miles to 3 miles every day. And
Interesting.
kind
So
of at
caloric.
a
I'm going to go with the B option. That's
middle of the road, 1,800
yeah.
for
There's
women.
18 and 22 for men, right? Or-
Correct.
okay.
Yep,
that's-
and this is for the age over 50.
Okay.
Okay. I would go with A.
1,600 for women and 2,000
Yes.
for men.
Yeah.
Okay, so Brent, Ryan won that one.
Okay. All right.
Yes, that was, yes. But before I found the answers to these questions, I thought A myself.
Yeah.
So we can have a little bit more if we are doing the 1.5 to 3 miles a day. Kind of a brisk, not a crazy fast action walk,
Yeah.
but
Right.
getting the heart rate up a little bit.
Now
Okay.
our show is all about equal rights, of course, but why do the men get more?
Generally, men have more muscle mass. I mean, that is, males have more muscle mass than
And then
females.
there's Brett.
Oh,
Ouch.
Just kidding.
Why do I keep coming back here? I always get insulted.
That's why people keep watching. All right.
all right. So, what can lead to muscle loss as you age? A, being less active. B, change in hormones. C, unhealthy diet. Or D, all of the above.
Now, let me answer first on
You
this
got
one.
it.
So, while I was always going through school, if I saw an all of the above, I always chose it on every test. So I'm going with D.
Okay. All right.
All right. I would say, what was B again? Was that?
B is change in hormones.
I'm going to say B.
B. Okay. Brent. Yep. So now we're
Always
tied.
Okay, tie
Always
game.
all of the above.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
always up. Is that how you did your SAT and everything? Just always all the above?
Hey, I made it through.
You did. Good job.
That's right. That's right. All right. So it is being less active. It's a combination, and it's the hormone changes, and then it's also our changes in an unhealthy diet, the accumulation.
Right.
We all know that we could eat French fries, no problem, and not have any
Yes.
bags under our eyes when we were younger, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right. And a night of fun, you were
Yeah.
able to get right back the next morning.
Yeah, you show back up
Absolutely.
at work on time.
I would actually use like a French fries and like a crave case to get back into it the next morning.
Right.
So no, yeah, not anymore.
No, right. That's the accumulation. So, all right. So we are tied again,
Yes.
right? 3
Yes.
3
3.
to 3.
So we have. Let's go. Once your muscle mass starts to go, it's too late to do anything about it. True or false?
Ooh.
I'm going to say false.
Okay.
I'd like to buy a vowel.
You'd like to.
I'm gonna go A. I'm sorry, true on that one. I think it's important to keep it up. Yeah. So you're false.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying you can come back from it.
Okay.
All right. So, Brent,
Oh no.
you are right. Yes.
I like the redemption stories.
Okay.
You can always come back.
All right.
It's true. So this is this is a life-affirming. That's right. You can always come back, but we always can. We may not. Obviously, we can see that things do decline. What do I want to say? Decline. But there is life and death. There is a cycle. But always we can improve from where we were. Always. We may not have the same definition, but we can always improve and increase. So yes.
We know Tiger Woods is at home, letting out a big sigh of relief now. He can come back.
He came back hard this weekend.
Did he come back hard this weekend?
He did.
Yeah, he did really well.
Good. See, yes. That's the thing. Once we get older, life does not have to decline. Yeah. So good. That's a great question.
All right, we got to change the score.
You got to pick it up here, Ryan. All right, so your sense of taste can fade with age, true or false?
Ooh.
True. I've heard that your taste buds reset like throughout his life goes. That's why, like, if you don't like broccoli as a kid, you like it as an adult. I don't know if that's true or not. I've just heard that, so.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true.
I'm going with false. I think that, at least in my experience, I haven't had things change on me. Like, I've never been a person that likes fish. I still don't like fish.
Okay. All right. So, Ryan, you did get that one.
All right.
So
All right.
the way that it's described is sometimes the sense of smell can decline and the sense of taste, the sense of smell and the sense of taste are intertwined. So sometimes it does happen as we age. Now, what you're talking about is a distinction or as we age our palates, we may like different flavors.
Yeah.
So as we get older, we may be inclined to try different spices or different ethnicities or different groups or different types of food.
Yeah.
But medications can also hinder our sense of taste as well as sense of smell. So that isn't necessarily an aging issue, but it can. So once again, they're intertwined.
Okay.
All
All right. So
We're tied up.
we tied again?
We are tied up.
Yes.
How many more questions we have?
Let me see here. I think that's maybe
this
I
gonna
have
end on
more.
a tie?
Wait a minute.
I think
Let's
it's
see.
going to end in a tie. We're actually, I believe we're running out of time.
We're
on the
running out of
show.
time.
Oh, all right.
Okay,
Well,
wait a
that's a
minute.
buzzer.
That's good. Well, that's good. You know what? Viewers back home, you're going to have to tune into another show to beat this tiebreaker here. So,
I'm still unbeaten.
well, we've learned a lot, and I want to thank you for coming on the show and sharing a lot of this information. It's interesting. You know, a lot of people will kind of say, "Oh, this is just part of the aging process," but it sounds like you can really. It doesn't matter your age. You can
Right.
you can control it by.
You can always come back.
You can always come back. We like the I like the underdog comeback story as well. So, well, we
Yes.
hope you learned something back home. If you have any questions about anything you saw on the show today, or would like to ask any questions for our guests, you can email us at boomerhealth@americaremedical.com, or you can call us at area code 248-288-2270. Thank you for tuning in.